Friends, this visit would ever be memorable for me. I would ever cherish it. I have had a remarkable, enlightened interaction with honorable members of parliament. And that was in the absence of my wife. But now that Dr. Sudesh Dhankhar is present, I'll have to be a little conscious of her. This is not an occasion for me to make a lengthy speech, but I'll say one thing. India is proud of its diaspora. They are 4 into 7 ambassadors of Bharat. 1.7 million here and 32 million all over the world. They can be complimented for exemplifying, and that exemplification is considered by every quarter, that they remain fully committed to the Karam Bhumi and also to Janam Bhumi. This wholesome balance they strike with amazing capability. India at the moment is a democracy that is most functional on any global parameters. If you look at the 3 wings of the state, the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive, you will find that executive headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has transformed 1/6 of humanity to unimaginable level. All societal parameters and elements that go to alleviate the suffering of the people, empowering the common man, is taking place. Infrastructural growth, which could never be dreamt earlier, is a ground reality. You see it in road, rail, air, or technological connectivity. I had indicated to the honorable members of parliament, and just to give an illustration, digital payment transactions amounted to 1.5 trillion in 2022. In India, 1.5 trillion in 2022. If I take these statistics in relation to US, UK, France, and Germany, taken together it is 4 times. We have 700 million internet users, and not just users. They have transformed India's service delivery system to a level which could never be imagined earlier. A sense of transparency, accountability in delivery system is the new mantra. Look at 110 million farmers getting 3 times a year an amount so far equivalent of 220,000 crores directly into their account. No middleman. Look at the kind of transformation, revolutionary change that has taken place. Power corridors have been sanitized of power brokers. An industry, flourishing industry at one point of time of light and agents is no longer in existence. All this has been brought about. There is evolution of an ecosystem. And that enables every youth, to fully unleash his or her energy and potential, and there are no fiscal constraints. If I look at Mudra loans, look at the amount that has been distributed. And each loanee, most of them are women, has turned out to be job creator. Skill development and capacity building is the new norm at every stage. National education policy has been evolved after 34 years. I am a product of education. If I had not got a scholarship, I would not have been what I am today. Education is the most effective, potent, transformational mechanism. It is education alone that takes care of inequities in society, brings about emancipation of the vulnerable and empowerment of youth. That is something which is happening in this country. Each one of you who are in this room, let me take to the next level. Where do you have a judiciary as involved as in India? We have at the moment one of the most enlightened souls as Chief Justice of India. A man who brings on the table huge experience, commitment, passion, mission. Enormously talented. But look at the orders. It takes him no time to grant relief to an ordinary man. There shall always be issues. In dynamics of governance, there will not be a day that henceforth there will be no issues. There will be. So we examine our judiciary, it is spinally strong. From the apex court down the line. Look around. The reach of Indian judiciary for the common man has no parallel. Imagine how outstanding achievement it is. Look at our parliamentarians. Those who get elected to the House of People. It's the toughest test. Those who are in the upper house, very talented. We are proud of our parliamentarians. In the process, if we examine a brief, limited area and be judgmental about it, will not be appropriate. So I have no difficulty in saying that Indian democracy is functioning at the moment at a level which is unmatched anywhere in the world. Can you name any other democracy on earth where the Constitution provides constitutional mechanism at village level, at municipal level, at state level, at central level, at cooperative level? In Bharat, all this is structured. Our institutions are spinally independent. Election Commission of India, amazing work they do. Honorable members of Parliament had made an input that Election Commission of India can be a guiding factor, a lighthouse for rest of the world, how to conduct elections fairly, efficiently, in the shortest time. In India, we have an ecosystem now. You may be just anybody. You are accountable to law. No one is beyond the reach of law. And no one can be treated unfairly because we have a robust judicial system. And at the moment, judicial system is headed by a man who is spinally, morally, and propriety-wise well deserving of it. I would therefore urge you that it is a right time for us to reflect within and keep the nation always first. We must be proud Indians by birth or connectivity and take pride in our historic accomplishments. Which country on the planet can claim to have tackled pandemic, COVID pandemic, so successfully? And mind you, every Indian who required vaccination dose was made available, this dose free, in time, in a calibrated manner, and the certification thereof is available on the smartphone. Not even the most developed countries have come to rival it. They've done it. People are talking about food security. They are not aware. And you need to make them aware. 800 million people in India, 800 million, are getting quality rice, cereal, pulse from April 1, 2020 till date. 800 million, imagine. If you look at the infrastructural growth, which is fundamental to development of any nation, where we used to take hours by road, we have world-class expressways, waterways, airways, and of course technological inroads up to the village level. When it comes to rails, we used to have Rajdhanis. We have two other trains, but now we have Vande Bharat. Just look at what world-class trains. When we look at airports, the development is no longer arithmetic. The development is geometric. And all this is on one account. Rich human resource of Bharat. DNA of its people who take no time in acquiring skills. Go to any village now in India, any village. You will find technological inroads. They will not go anywhere else to apply for a passport. Somebody in the village will do it for them. For driving license, somebody will do it. For ration card, somebody will do it. For Aadhaar card, somebody will do it. For booking a rail ticket, booking a road ticket, or making payment for service delivery, whether it is water or electricity, you do it. No queues. There is no person at the moment in India who needs employment and is not getting it. In this flourishing, blossoming democracy, where focal point is empowerment of the ordinary man at the end of the queue, if there are some discordant voices and they are elevated to a higher level, we must reflect. I am not here to make a partisan comment, but all I can say is it has been India's culture that when we step out of our country's boundaries, we step out as its ambassadors. And the greatest exemplification of it happened during the regime of Narasimha Rao, our Prime Minister, from 1992 onwards for 5 years, where Dr. Manmohan Singh was his finance minister. Leader of the opposition, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, who later on became Prime Minister of the country 3 times or more, and a Bharat Ratna, he is no more, represented India. That is our culture. And that is deeply embedded in our civilizational ethos. No country in the world can claim to have that kind of civilizational history as we have. Look at our Upanishads. Look at our Vedas. Look at the enlightened discourse in Gita. And look at current Bharat. There is unity in diversity. I have seen it myself in 2 capacities. One while being Governor State of Bengal for 3 years, and now as Vice President of the country. I would therefore urge everyone who is present here, and it is not a statistical number as I told honorable members of parliament, because each of them represented a huge segment and a thought process. You all do that. I will make one appeal. 32 million Indian diaspora is a formidable demographic component. And this demographic component is highly qualified, empowered, vigilant, making the nation proud in every way. It must be reflective on several issues. No one is above criticism. No one is above scrutiny. No one is above probe. Everyone is subject to these elements if we have to register progress. But then we can't be swayed. The moment of glory for India has come. The moment of glory of India is being reflected by ground reality. The world is recognizing it. By all standards, Bharat is land of opportunity, a favored destination of investment, and amongst the large economies, even in a stressful period, fastest growing. And that is being seen on the ground. And the reason for this is affirmative governance. A new mantra was given: less government, more governance. We are in times in Bharat now where an idea is not parked. There is no parking space for an idea. If the idea is good, it has to be executed fast. And that execution is taking place with big ticket investments in infrastructure, airports, ports, and village development. Therefore, every one of you has to be 24/7 an ambassador of Bharat. A thought was indicated, do we approve everything? We don't approve everything in the family. We don't approve everything with our progeny, our children. But it has to be collaborative. It has to be cooperative. It has to be with a mindset so that things look up. There is no scope for humanity if it has to develop in a peaceful environment and bring about global order to be in a state of confrontation. The world is feeling positively rise of Bharat at the moment. It will be a positive factor for stability of the world. 75th year of independence of Bharat, Amrit Kal, has been fully used. Every nook and corner has been sensitized. Heroes, unsung heroes of our freedom fight have been identified and honored. That has taken place. India has been rediscovered in an authentic manner. Firm foundation has been laid for what India will be in 2047, when centenary of its independence is to be celebrated. I said we are the fifth largest economy at the moment. By turn of the decade, we'll be third. This achievement was beyond our dreams a few years ago. Credit goes to every hard-working Indian, worker, farmer, and effective governmental policies. Their honest execution in transparent and accountable manner. And look at our historical perspective. In the world economy, there was a time when India's share was more than that of any other country. And that lasted for a fairly long period. We are retrieving it. We are on way to retrieving it. Our development trajectory is geometrical, unstoppable. All these factors will tell you where India is heading. Let me give you a small illustration. In space sector, look at the achievements of India. Look at ISRO. Look at what giant steps it has taken in last 12 months. Even the most developed countries in the world have utilized ISRO for putting in orbit what they thought is essential. That's a tribute. India is now a hub of manufacturing activity for the globe. That's a big change that is taking place. I would therefore appeal to all of you, in whatever manner you can contribute for growth of the nation, for rise in its reputation, and to ensure that untenable, ill-premised, unfounded, baseless narratives do not take strides in public domain. No one is against honest assessment or criticism. That will always help us march ahead and attain our goals. But unfair, malicious, pernicious orchestration is antithetical to good conscience. We must antidote it. I'm extremely delighted to Vikram in particular for having facilitated this interaction, which has turned out to be one-sided. But I would grab the opportunity indicated by him and the learned parliamentarians a while ago that they are thinking of inviting me again. Vikram, I am in the habit of accepting invitations. I came to this land for the first time in 1988, where my father was operated. A bypass surgery was conducted on him at Princess Grace Hospital by Dr. John Wright. I was here for a few days. My gracious wife was here for the entire tenure. Then I came here after I was elected to Parliament in 1989. And I became a federal minister. I came here. Then also I got in connect with most professionals and parliamentarians. I see now a big change. A big change in the mindset of everyone, first with people of Indian origin and then others. This is not a small achievement. And this was not limited only to this country. By default, I led a delegation to European Parliament. Why by default? As a junior minister, I was a deputy leader. But the leader was a keen lover of football. So I headed the delegation. And I traveled across Europe. If I'm not mistaken, all the 4 capitals of the European Union. Strasbourg is one, I think Brussels is another. I might make a mistake. It was 30 years ago. And when I'm in the presence of my wife, Dr. Sudesh Dhankhar, my memory sometimes trips. But this may not be constituted as a gender-oriented reflection. So, ladies and gentlemen, young boys and girls, some of you I know, some of were connected with journalism when I was governor of state of West Bengal. Who is the man from ABP here? Shah. Yes. And then we have some. You are there? Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have always been telling people, fear is the greatest killer. So never have fear. Fear gives rise to stress and tension. Never have it. And if you have a dream, please don't harbor dream in your heart or in your mind. Your body is not to be a parking space for a dream. A dream is required to be executed on ground. And there is no human soul who has made big strides in life without falling. Unless, of course, you are gifted like me to be married to a gracious lady who doesn't allow you to fall any time. So, no, Vikram is equally lucky. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is brief introduction, one-sided. I promise you, and I am known to fulfill my promises, because this is the habit I picked up from the Honorable Prime Minister. Prime Minister of India never makes a promise which is not executed with the fastest of speed. And that has been done. 170 million free gas connections to needy houses. And millions of houses being made available to the poor. And lakhs of jobs being handed out in public domain. Job creations taking place, infrastructure being realized in the shortest possible time. All that is being done. So I'll keep up my promise. Only thing is, someone has to take the initiative to see that I come. Thank you so much.
Honorable Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar ji, Dr. Sudesh Dhankhar ji, Your Excellency, Shri Vikram Doraiswamy. Very, very warm welcome, firstly, to London. And so thank you for your inspiring words. The living bridge, our diaspora, is very nourished by what you've said. And of course, we will see you back again for, I think that'll be your 4th trip, if I counted correctly. Now, can we all rise for the national anthem?
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।